Everyone, welcome to the Hump Day edition of Sonora Living Live. I'm Terry Olette.
And I'm Susan Casper. Thanks for having us along on this Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we've had so much fun with the doctor this morning talking about the strange things that he finds in our kids' noses and ears.
You know what? And I asked you, what was the strangest things your girls ever stuck up their nose?
They haven't done that, and it's really weird. They're 9 years old and they're girls, but you said your boys have, so I'm wondering if it's a gender thing, because my daughters really don't do that.
Yeah, it might be. It wasn't, I was able to grab it, but you know, my boys were into gargoyles. Those, you know, action figures, or Kyle was a long time ago, and they had all these little things with them, like little shoes and stuff like that, and I found a little sword.
He was trying to...
It was sticking out, and I was like, oh, that's not good. I'll just pull that out.
And it's so funny
put that in the trash.
A lot of parents try to do that. So we have a question. Did your kids go through a phase where they would stick things up their noses, perhaps in their ears? While it sounds like it's kind of funny, it's actually really dangerous. So to help prevent any major accidents, we are excited to welcome this man to our show, Dr. Gerald Altman, who has seen it all, and he's actually written a book about it. Don't stick sticks up your nose. Don't stuff stuff in our ears. Great title. Yep. So wonderful to see you.
Thanks for having me.
It is really common. I mean, you just heard Terry and I, we were sharing with you. It is really common for kids to do this, but it is dangerous, you say.
It is dangerous. By the way, she said boys with a sword. Girls put Barbie shoes in their ear all the time. So it's not just boys.
A gender thing.
Nope,
it's not a gender thing.
Nope.
So what could happen? And you've brought along some examples of some of the interesting little things and little objects that you have found in kids' ears and noses. But why do they do it?
So they do it because they like to investigate. They like to experiment. You can't see when they put something in their ear or their nose, and they can go around with it for the rest of the day in there.
And so let's see, what are some of the common things? Show us what's on the table here. What are some of the things?
So right here we have beads. So Junior sees 8-year-old sister making a bracelet or a necklace, and Junior takes the bead and puts it in her ear.
And then what is this?
These are little hazelnuts. They love to put food inside their nose and ears at dinner time when you're not looking.
And of course, Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
We love to play with it.
They love to play with it and put it in places you can't see.
and because we can't see it, it can last for quite some time. Rocks?
Right, so we have little pebbles all over the valley in everyone's yard, and boys and girls like to put these in their ear.
And Q-tips?
This is what I call the gateway drug. This is what the parents are using. Kids watch their parents use these, and then they model the behavior.
So what about trying to pull it out? Do you ever notice that parents will actually stick a Q-tip in it and it actually makes it worse?
This pushes wax down too far, and this pushes any foreign object down too far. These should stay out of your ear.
And cotton balls as well?
They like to take a little piece of cotton and they just shove it in places. We had a child. You said, what are the dangers? So we had a child 2 weeks ago who had 6 sinus infections, right? Drainage from one side of the nose, 6 antibiotics over a 9-month period, and all the child had was cotton ball inside their
So how long did you say?
9 months.
9 months, and the parents had no idea.
6 antibiotics, 12 doctor visits for the infection and to see if it went away, and then 1 visit to us.
And then 1 visit to you and you found it.
Yep.
And you pulled it out, and obviously it was disgusting. I can't even imagine.
Smelled wonderful.
Well, you say that prevention is key. What can parents do right now in their homes to prevent kids from possibly shoving things in places that they shouldn't go?
Right, so the first thing to do to prevent anything is teach, educate. Use a book like Don't Stick Sticks Up Your Nose and Don't Stuff Stuff in Your Ears to take the time in a nice, friendly way to teach them. Look around your house, see what's out. Do you have peas and beans and lentils? And do grandparents have hearing aid batteries that are out when they stay at grandparents' house? You should put them up so the kids can't get to them. You should put them behind a locked cabinet. You should get on your knees and look around at the kids' level so you can see what they're seeing.
So let's say for instance, doctor, that, something did find its way into our child's nostril, perhaps into an eardrum. What can we do after we have found the object? What's the first thing that we need to do?
So if it's easily accessible and it's in the nose, for example, tilt the child's head forward so the nose is pointing downward, use gravity, and gently try to slide it out. If it's in the ear, if it's the right ear, tilt the ear to the side and try to slide it out with anything. Your finger is probably the best thing. If you can't touch it, don't try.
That's a good point. So if you can't actually get to it, like Terry was saying, she was able to pull it out because it was still dangling, don't try, because it could make it worse. And so, for instance, if we have all of these things, like our kids aren't always around us and they don't always tell us that something perhaps is lodged in their ears and noses, are there signs that our kids will display that will kind of give us a trigger that something's wrong?
Yeah, there are signs. So a draining nose, green or yellow drainage out of one side of their nose that's persistent, bloody drainage out of one side of their nose that is persistent, bloody or gooey drainage out of one ear. Those are signs. Ear pain and pain in their nose, those are the signs.
So if your kid's just constantly complaining, then perhaps you may want to take them in. How did you know it was a cotton ball in that young man's ear?
I saw it.
So you saw it right away,
Yeah.
but the parents couldn't see it. Oh,
They don't
there
have
you go.
this.
That's why we go to the professionals.
Correct.
What is the craziest and nastiest thing or strangest thing you've ever found?
When I started my residency, the first thing I found in an ear was a cockroach, and I called and said I quit. My wife said, no, you didn't, you just started.
I think I would do the same thing. Well, I tell you what, here's some information on where you can buy this book. Don't Stick, Don't Stuff.com is the name. Don't stick sticks in your nose, don't stuff stuff in your ears. It's on Amazon.com. You've been so helpful, Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it, Terry.
All right, because